pite.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance, which is working out exactly as expected. Just like I said it would yesterday. Look, I'm not saying it because I'm awesome or anything, it's just an obvious area for it to get rejected. Remember, this is just a short term. We were talking about how alts can get a bit of a rally, a small rally in the short term as we're getting a rejection from this 200 exponential. But because the rest of the chart is bullish, I do expect this to break. So I'm not telling you what to do with your money or how to trade your coins, whatever, but any new altcoin position that was taken in the last, 24 to 48 hours, to be fair, is most likely going to lose its sats in the long run. There are some outliers. We established yesterday, surprisingly, that XRP would be one of them. But yeah, that remains to be seen. But I mean, it's all about signals, resistances, blah 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 blah. Remember, I hear that in the news or through the, I don't know, is it the darknet news or the, I don't know. Apparently Russia has decided that they're gonna. The invasion takes place tomorrow, so we'll wait and see what happens with that. We should, I suppose, have a little think about whether that's something to be sure of. But as far as the chart's concerned, it's working out exactly as expected. So what I mean by that is that we got this pump that we were waiting for, given to us by the Ichimoku cloud. We got the continuation, which was given to us by the Ichi cloud. We established that the Fed the IPC report was going to cause possibly a pump, but then a tailing off and a retest of the golden cross, which has worked out exactly as expected. And that's a bullish retest, which is why I thought it's more likely to go up exactly as expected. So sorry to be quoting Carl from the Moon all the time, but I mean, there has been a lot of things that have worked out exactly as expected. And so for the moment, what we're looking to do now is that it does appear on the 4-hourly time frame, which this is a consolidation of a 4-hourly time frame, that it does look like we've broken out of that. Yeah, so it does appear that we've broken the consolidation trend line, which means that we should have continuation, which kind of leads me to think that we're likely to approach the 46,500, potentially this week, right? That would be the limit. I think that would be the stop on this particular move right now. Don't think it's really ready to make any much bigger sizable gains, unless of course something happens outside of the chart which gives it that power. The reason I don't think it's got the power is that if you look at the RSI, it's already relatively high. It's going to go quite higher. It could reach 46,000 and then push on to 49,500, which would be the top of this general range. The money flow index is also quite high. We had a very very sizable inflow of volume coming into this one move. And again, from the bottom to the top, and again, not that anyone will have traded this. From the absolute bottom to the absolute top, just short of a 40% move, so it is pretty good, and we'll be looking for a consolidation on a daily, really, to take place at some point when it reaches its potential high. If we look over here, we've got the 200 exponential, which is coming in at that major horizontal level of resistance, 46,500 or thereabouts. So that, in my opinion, is most likely to be the resistance of this particular move that will take place this week. Now, it might not, but that's on a chart basis. It is kind of that simple. Now the good thing is that obviously with the price action that went down like this, we are looking for this Ichimoku cloud to also go down, which means that there'll be a break in the cloud at lower levels. So we'll be able to consolidate, from a move up to here, or maybe even up to here, consolidate in a nice area above the cloud, allowing for a decent signal to be generated on a daily, right? And me and the Ichi cloud, I trust it with my full heart. There are only a few occasions where I'd look at it and take the buy signals with a pinch of salt, but daily signals that generated usually play out. So I do wait for those, and I do enjoy them. And that's what I'll be waiting for, to be honest with you. I've been talking about between now and March, where the Fed actually do their first rate hike. We'll see what size it is, and then we'll have to play the charts accordingly, and that's what everybody's waiting for. I keep repeating myself, but it is a matter of just having that clarity for the more conservative traders stroke investors to decide to put money back into markets. I truly do believe that the vast majority of this move has played out, and this move, just like stocks, has basically been accentuated by, first of all, the virus coming out here, the new one that would be dump, and then obviously the whole narrative surrounding Fed rate hikes and all this stuff. So I think the majority of the move is played out. But we are having a nice move at the moment. We're still outside of this descending trend line to the consolidation. The larger portion of the consolidation has finished, and so now what we're looking to do is to see if we can conclude this 4 hourly consolidation, which it looks like it wants to do, and then push up to the next major level. So really what we're looking to do at this stage is incrementally over the next couple of months really reclaim areas of significance. First one you could argue is more or less right now, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. About 40,200 or so, more or less, these candle body highs over here, 44,400, give or take. Again, when it comes to a few $100s here or there, from horizontals, it's difficult because there's wicks, but the main one for me would be expecting a decent rejection at 46,500, splicing straight through there. That'd be great, and 49,400, 500 would more or less be the area, because that brings us back into this zone. We're already in the zone right now, but this would bring us back into this zone. And again, this is the major area here. We've got the top of the Bollinger Band, we've got the 200 exponential, we've got a horizontal. A horizontal resistance, and that is 46,500. So I don't think it's got the power to break it outside of that zone right now, and that's fine. We're looking to meander, to be honest with you, for potentially another month until March comes in, and maybe towards the end of March we'll get some signals that we can really think about true reversals. But for the moment, I mean, it is looking good, and it's working exactly as expected. So we've noticed that today there's been a fair few alt pumps, right? And again, that's working out exactly as expected. I made those videos last night about alts. We're going to get a very I suppose, what's the right word for it, a very likely alt pump potentially immediately. So I woke up this morning and there we go, and the angels were singing, "Oh, you're a genius." Obviously it's not being a genius, it's just that I'm very well versed with this Bitcoin dominance chart, and it's been less it's been less of an important tool recently, since altcoins basically rule the roost. But it still is good, and it still is working. So we will recognise that 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row rejections. It's not ready to break out from it. But again, if we think about what we're looking at here, this is effectively an ascending triangle, which is a bullish formation. So it is going to break out of here relatively soon. So any altcoin gains that have been made, I suppose, between today and maybe tomorrow, whenever this runs out, I'll be looking to take profit into Bitcoin. The reason I say that is, for me, I trade Bitcoin as my main trading pair. Bitcoin is destined to go up anyway. Bitcoin is the one, and with the Bitcoin dominance looking like it's going to make a full reversal, we've even got decent signals on here. Ichimoku cloud. We've got we're surfing the center of this Bollinger Band. We're making higher highs, higher lows, and we've also broken out the 20 weekly, which is a big deal as well. Which is probably where I'd imagine to see the support. So this move is likely to be fully played out by only less than 1% away from now. So about 42.5% dominance. So about 0.5%. It's not much, but considering the market caps of altcoins and Bitcoin are quite large, smaller moves on this chart do equate to larger moves on the actual altcoin itself. So overall, this move is playing out right now for Bitcoin and for altcoins. Things are looking good. I think things are looking good generally speaking. I'm not expecting massive moves from anything right now. Coming into March and April, most likely, when the signals hopefully will be generated at that level, then Bitcoin probably gets to move first. And given the nature of how we've seen Bitcoin rally in the past, do like a 300% move. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but based on the Bitcoin dominance chart, Bitcoin in the past has rallied and left altcoins behind it. And given the fact that we're so low, I think that's how the market will behave this time round as well. I mean, we're talking months in advance, so it is obviously that the further out you try and predict a move, the more hazy the prediction is going to be, because you do have to react almost on a daily or sometimes on an hourly basis. Sometimes I think this is going to happen, but because it's a couple of months away, there's lots of other things that can happen in the short term that could change that. But it does look like that is the overall move that's brewing. Bitcoin dominance looking for a true reversal. We've got opportunities for rejections in a number of places. The first real one you could probably argue would be around here, 47.5% dominant, right? Well, to be honest with you, we're going to play the Bollinger Band for what it's worth, so that would suggest maybe 46, then maybe 47, then maybe 52, and at max I think we'll be looking at about 58. Yeah, all of these would be either, this would be an alt rally, maybe you could consider it to be a season. This could be an alt rally, maybe stroke season. This from here, a rejection from here, would be a true alt season, and if we got all the way up here, this would be an epic alt season. So for me, the main thing is to focus mostly on Bitcoin. You can do little scalps like what we're seeing this morning and what we saw at the beginning of last week, but given the overall direction of this particular chart, the main focus for me is going to be on Bitcoin still, taking profit into Bitcoin, mostly thinking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to dominate the market, providing this chart still remains bullish. And again, if we are reversing like the daily suggests, we've only really just begun that reversal. But that's just my number one most likely scenario. Doesn't mean it is definitely going to happen, but you guys know that. No one knows exactly what's going to happen, but you marry all the things together, this is what it looks like. Worst case scenario is that Bitcoin does break down still, because remember, and we spoke about this before, we can only really get bullish on Bitcoin when it reclaims $51,000. Yeah, because that is the line in the sand given to us by the Bollinger Band Center, and bears are in control generally when you're below it. Bears are out of control, and the bulls are back in force when you're above it. We're looking to make higher highs, higher lows, but for the moment we could easily just get rejected at any one of these major areas. But again, 51,000 is the main area, and we'll see where we go from there. Trust me when I say it, the bears are still in control, provided we're below 51,000. We could move all the way up to here, and you can imagine the euphoria in the market. We are going to the moon. And then we get to 51,000, and then we get a rejection from there. And go, but 51,000. But what about that? That's such a large number. But yeah, it's because it's not massive. It's not massively in the bears' favour, but they do have control, provided we're above here. So we could easily go all the way up, and there's your Bollinger Band Centre like that. Still sloping down, by the way, which is not a good idea for it to do. And then bang, a rejection. What we've got is another major lower high there, and we go on to make new lows. So all of this is absolutely completely plausible as well. So we can speak bullish like we have done, and how we've managed to predict things exactly as expected, but on the larger term time frames we do have to expect the worst, because the bears have the overall control of the higher term time frames. Right, so I'll leave it with you there. Looking good right now, definitely looking good, but don't get greedy, especially with your altcoins. Everyone's got a different strategy. Mine's definitely more of a long-term, accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible regardless of the price. Use altcoins to increase the sats that I have, and whether we're going up or down, it's all a tradable range. The idea for me is that 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now, I'm going to have loads of Bitcoins. Those Bitcoins will be worth more in the future, and until then it's just a matter of collecting those Bitcoins through the use of these charts, using altcoins to get a leg up here and there, and just play the game and think about it like that. I know everyone's different, and some people don't have that kind of financial, I suppose, freedom, and it can be very stressful, but I like to think about it like a game that I treat seriously. Do you know what I mean? It is a serious game, but it is a game, which is why I can laugh when the market jumps, because it's fun to get wrecked, in a way, but it almost always works out, provided you're mainly in Bitcoin, obviously. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.
Pas en pite.